We thought we would make this volunteer Shabbat a memorable one to remember in two ways. The first is by arranging to have an earthquake earlier in the day. I've talked to people who did not feel it at all, but let me tell you something. Our house, our lake house, it shook. The foundations of the house shook. No damage out there as well, but it was memorable for 15 to 20 seconds. But it's a humbling experience. And we're just very fortunate it wasn't a 5.8, or forbid, a 6.8, because once an earthquake starts, you are at the mercy of nature and forces beyond our control, and it's very vivid. This is the third earthquake that I've experienced, but the first one was just really sound and very little shaking, and the second one was a gentle swaying. But today, where we were, it was a little bit more than a gentle swaying, and so something to remember. Earthquake on Friday, and hopefully a very peaceful solar eclipse on Monday. But the second way that we're making this memorable is by having Virginia come all the way from Portland, Oregon. And we thank her for arranging for the Shabbat meal for the volunteers before the service. And I'd like to ask Virginia to do two things this evening. The first is the Shabbat candles. The second will be the announcements later on. And so as we turn in our prayer book to page 3, as these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Together, O source of light and truth, creator of the law of goodness, help us by thy knowledge by which to live. Guide us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen.
Our welcome of Shabbat continues with the singing of Lecha Dodi on page 20. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, benet Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, benet Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zakor b'dimor echad, Yishmianu el amiyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, Shemo tiferet v'litchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, benet Shabbat nekavela.
ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוך הסוף מעשה במקשרת הקהילה
לך דודי לקראת קלה
ונשבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ונשבת נקבלה התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי שיר אמרי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה
לך דודי לקראת קלה
ונשבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ונשבת נקבלה.
We rise and face the entrance to the synagogue.
בואי ושלום תרד מעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לקדודי לקראת קלה, ונשבת נקבלה. לקדודי לקראת קלה, ונשבת נקבלה.
We remain standing for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, page 28. Please be seated. On page 31, praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch
Atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim.
From the outer world to the inner world of Torah and mitzvot, and unending love, Ahavat Olam, page 32.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Aveta, Amcha Aveta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. ונשמח מדברי תורתך ובמיתותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו ישראל.
We join together in the Shema.
שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. 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 ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
I learned something interesting about solar eclipses actually today. that in order for there to be a total solar eclipse, as opposed to a more common partial eclipse, two things need to be in alignment. The first is that the moon's orbit around the Earth needs to be at its closest point. If it's not at its closest point, the moon won't be able to block out the sun, and that stands to reason. The second thing is that the moon needs to be at the beginning of the monthly cycle, that is the new moon. You might have thought full moon, but that's actually not true. So when I heard that, I realized new moon, that's also going to mean a new Jewish month.
Yeah.
And what month? We're actually going from second Adar, the added leap month of Adar this year, which is why it's pushing all the holidays now are going to be very late, and the high holidays are going to be incredibly late and not start till October this year if you've peeked through. But it's the new moon of Nisan, which is actually the first of the 12 months in the original Jewish calendar. It's the new moon of the spring, and it's also called the month of our freedom because the next holiday coming up in the middle of the month is Passover. So we can't be that far away from Pesach, our festival of freedom, which, yes, indeed, is coming with a few weeks. The words of our next prayer are from the story of the Pesach, of the festival of freedom and our movement from slavery to freedom. Mi Chamocha, page 40.
Kamocha ma'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilo rosefele, nora tehilo rosefele. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayom lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zelianu ve'amru, Zelianu ve'ameru Adonai imlo le'olam va'ed Adonai imlo le'olam va'ed ונאמר כבד אדוני יעקב וגלום יד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 42, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamitenu shobrenu lekayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamitenu shomrenu lekayim. Ushmor tzeitzenu, uvoenu, lekayim shalom be'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamitenu shomrenu lekayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamitenu shomrenu lekayim. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורץ סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Page 44. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם.
With the opening of the baseball season, we think about lineups. Who's going to be in the lineup? The next prayer invites us to be in the lineup with our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. That's really what we're doing when we say Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, our God, God of our ancestors, and then we name them in every prayer. We want to be in that all-star lineup. For the tefillah prayer, page 46, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia v'tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov. ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקיים הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום ינהגוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. The 8th Psalm speaks to the wonders of the natural world, which we have experienced today and on Monday. And so we read on page 59, when we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot. The prayer of great peace, Shalom Rav, on the next page.
Shalom Rav ad Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav ad Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Ki atah melech adon, lekol hashalom. מלך ארון, לכל השלום, שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב עיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Now at the end of the Amidah, our thoughts turn to those of our loved ones in need of healing, be this a healing of body or healing of soul. And each and every week, we extend this healing prayer to the hostages, who we do not forget, to the soldiers of the IDF risking their lives, who we do not forget, to those lives, innocent lives that are lost in war, that we do not forget. Please take a moment to summon people in your minds. As we join in the Misha Barak prayer.
Avotenu strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen.
I'd like to share a quote before our period of silent prayer this evening. Most often it's a quote from the Torah portion, but this evening it's a quote from this week from our Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. By the way, how many of you know that Anthony Blinken is Jewish? Okay, some people, maybe half. How many of you know that Anthony Blinken's stepfather was a Holocaust survivor? A few people. In response to the death, the tragic death of the 7 aid workers for World Central Kitchen, this week, in the midst of his remarks, he said something that really stood out to me. This is what I wanted to share with you. He said, quote, "If we lose that reverence for humanity, we risk becoming indistinguishable from those we confront." We pause. And following our moment of silent prayer, for a heartfelt prayer of peace, we'll be inviting up to the bima cantorial soloist, Susie Merritt. In the now classic 1989 movie Field of Dreams, Ray Kinsella, played by who? Kevin Costner, hears a voice saying, "If you build it, they will come." Actually, that's a bit of a misquote. Kinsella hears the voice say, "If you build it, he will come," referring to baseball legend shoeless Joe Jackson. But the misquote is more popular for a reason. It's a great motivating line for any community-minded endeavor. So too is a like-minded verse from the Torah, "And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them." Speaking to the people through Moses, God promises, "Build a holy place, build it, and I will be present." Note that the verse says "among them" rather than "in it." The truly holiness exists not in the physical edifice, but in the souls of the gathered. The chapter, Exodus 25, begins, God spoke to Moses saying, "Tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts for me from every person whose heart so moves them." That is the essence of Kihila Kedoshah, the sacred community, the volunteer spirit that motivates people to give and to build. The willing heart, the giving heart, is what has sustained this congregation of the faithful for 153 years and what sustains it yet today. Your heart has moved you to give of your resources and of your time to sustain this holy place. And for this, we are deeply grateful. We express our gratitude now in a beautiful song called "Holy Place" by Debbie Friedman.
we bring, that we may build the holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts. The Spirit of God will dwell within. These are the colors of our dreams we bring to make a holy place. This is the weaving of our lives we bring to make a holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts. The Spirit of love will dwell within. These are the prayers that we bring, that we may make a holy place. These are the visions that we seek, that we may build this holy place. Let our promise forever be strong. Let our souls rise together in song, that the Spirit of God, the Spirit of love, Shekinah, will dwell within.
If you are a committee chair, if you lead one of the committees of this synagogue, I invite you forward to help open the Ark now for the Emuno prayer, the bottom of page 282. The bottom. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גאולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסן הארץ, ומושד יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומי. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום מהשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתנו, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא
On this Shabbat, we now call to mind in love and reverence those recently taken from our midst during the Shoshim, during the past 30 days. Joan Klein, wife of Richard Klein. And on the Shabbat in love and reverence, the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Louis Kelbick, father of Hilary Kelbick, Leon Kramer, brother of Miriam Wohl, Sarah Camp, aunt of Doris White, Sylvia Buxbaum, mother of Peter Buxbaum. For all those close to our hearts, for all those for whom there may be no one to say Kaddish, we join in the Kaddish prayer on page 294. Yitkada v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, v'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'hayechol v'yomechol v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'yamru Amen, Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'lamei anmaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yit'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudishta b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata damiran damal v'yibru Amen Yehei shlama Rabba min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Imru Amen. Oseh shalom libromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. As I invite Virginia forward for the announcement, see if you can hear her Portland accent. It's becoming more pronounced. The longer she lives there, the more, just kidding.
Yeah, and everybody there says I sound like I'm from New Jersey. So what can you do? Good evening, and nice to see the front of your faces instead of the back of your heads, which I do watch the services pretty often. It's 4:30 in my time when this service begins, but I catch it. If I don't catch it at 4:30, I watch it later. I watch it the next morning, but I do watch it pretty often. And you ask yourself, you may ask yourself why, because people are like, do you have a life back there or whatever? You're just doing all this stuff for the synagogue. I do have a life back there. I love it very much there, but I don't have a synagogue there that I feel connected to. I do have a synagogue there, and I occasionally attend services. It's very large. But my heart is here, and my friends are here, and I practically know everybody here tonight, which is amazing, and nobody has aged a day since I left, which is also wonderful and amazing. So I'm just going to take advantage. Michael asked me to do the announcements tonight. You didn't prepare them for me. You just told me to do them, right, Michael? So, okay. So first thing I want to do is thank all of you who came from our volunteer group, which is pretty much everybody here. And I want to just say that I'm on many committees. I co-chair ritual and caring committees with Doris White, who couldn't be here tonight, had planned to be here. She is my go-to person. Without Doris, I wouldn't be able to do what I do back there because I'm really in touch with her on a regular basis. And she and I co-chair ritual and the caring committee together. So sorry that Doris couldn't be here last minute, but I really want to thank her in person on the live stream as well. So we have so many committees. I put them in alphabetical order because I want people to know that these are all working committees: adult ed, buildings and grounds, caring committee, membership, religious school, ritual, social action, website and database. These are all busy committees, and I have two things to thank for the fact that I'm still involved. One is, unfortunately, the pandemic, because that created Zoom meetings. And everybody was like, hey, you could still be on the board because we're meeting on Zoom anyway. So I'm like, whoa, lucky me. So anyway, so there I was, and here I am. And the pandemic's like way over, mostly, but I'm still on these committees. And we have a fantastic board of trustees that I love serving on, and I love having those meetings every month because it gives me a chance to see everybody, say hello, and keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on here, which, believe it or not, is still very, very important to me. And so I want to thank all the board members that work so hard behind the scenes. Probably most of you don't have any idea of what goes on at our board meetings, but there's so many big decisions that are being made on a regular basis, and it's a very, very hardworking board. So I want to thank all the board members, and then I'm going to get into the people who do things. Maybe they have one big chore they do every year, like Kimberlino. I'm going to embarrass her. She does the calendar every year. That's huge. So every year, starting in April, all the committee chairs get together and we decide on the calendar for the following year. So I made a mistake last year when I said, hey, why don't you put an art auction on the calendar for next year? And why don't you put a volunteer Shabbat? And they're like, hey, yeah, are you going to come out and take care of those things? Because I'm like, yeah, I guess so. So I raised my hand, and here I am this weekend. And if you look on the calendar, you will see that the volunteer Shabbat was actually supposed to be in May. But I asked, could we possibly just put it the same weekend, since I'm going to be here anyway, unless you want to pay my airfare and, whatever, come out again next month. So that's why it's moved from May to this month. But we have other things coming up. We have a poetry Shabbat. We have a caring committee Shabbat. So look on the calendar. Some of those might be changed, the dates, but watch the rabbi's messages where he'll tell you about when those things are happening. I want to remind you that there's Torah study tomorrow, correct? There is religious school on Sunday. And then, of course, on Sunday from 3 to 6 is our Emuno artist silent auction. And I was so thrilled when we came up with that idea, how many talented artists in our congregation said yes, they would donate something, 1 or 2 pieces, even more. We have photography, we have painting, we have ceramics, we have drawings. They're really a talented group of people. We're so honored and blessed to have them all and a member of our congregation. So please come on Sunday to support this fundraiser. It's from 3 to 6, as you know, and it's at the home of Mayor Bill Ziegler and his wife Sue Boyd in Leonia, who are members of the synagogue. And it's going to be a wonderful event. And I want to thank my committee chairs, committee people with me, Michael Scowden and Susan Gray and Sandy Zornick. And when I first sent them the first email about this idea, I said, let's do a fundraiser. And then I put in parentheses, low key. And they've been working hard ever since. So it's not so low key, it never is, but Michael, designed everything, the invitations, and then Sandy's been sending out the emails, and Susan's taking care of the wine and helping with all the other things that are going on. And Kim is doing a beautiful charcuterie platter. So there's 4 of us that are working really hard, but the most important is that the artists are bringing their stuff, their work, and get to share it with all of us. So bring your checkbooks and or cash, or you can make a donation through the temple website while you're there online. We'll take care of that as well. So please join us on Sunday from 3 to 6. And I believe there's religious school Sunday as well, too, right, in the morning. So I think that's what's going on.
It is?
Yeah, not much, right? But yeah. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We are very much looking forward to that special event. If you haven't been to the mayor's home, the middle section is the oldest home in Leonia. It dates back to the colonial period, built in the 1700s, even before the Revolutionary War. And you'll also see in the more modern edition 2 portraits of very colonial-looking people. And actually, those are ancestors of Sue Boyd. She can trace her lineage all the way back to the first decades of settlement in this country, in Philadelphia and then in New York. So a very historic home and a wonderful venue for what we're going to have. The totality in New Jersey, which will be about 90%, and assuming we have good weather, will be at approximately 3:26 p.m. on Monday. So whatever you're doing, stop it to gaze at that celestial wonder. If you're going to look directly at the eclipse, you need special glasses to protect yourself. Every few weeks since October 7th, which continues to be in our thoughts and minds, every few weeks we've been singing Hatikva as an expression of solidarity with Israel and with the Jewish people. So we'll close tonight once again with Hatikva. It's the national anthem of Israel, but it's also, in a way, the anthem of the Jewish people. The words, if you would like, are on page 374 for the singing of Hatikva. Please rise.
And tonight we're especially going to remember the hostages who in 2 days will have been in captivity for 6 months.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.